Water check. Welcome back to Everyday's Movie Ever. My name is Jess and I'm watching Everyday's Movie Ever. Today I'm going to talk about Sky High. Sky High is a 2005 theatrical release. It's directed by Mike Mitchell, cinematography by Shelly Johnson, editing by Peter Amundson, music by Michael Giacchino, and it's written by Paul Hernandez, Bob Schooley, and Mark McCorkle. The film stars Michael Angarano as Will, Danielle Panabaker as Layla, Stephen Strait as War and Peace, DJ Daniels as Ethan, Kelly Vitz as Magenta, Nicholas Braun as Zach, Kurt Russell as Steve, Kelly Preston as Josie, and Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Gwen. The exteriors were filmed at Oviatt Library at California State University. Mark and Bob are the creators of Kim Possible, and they had been working on a live-action script that they ended up shelving, but filmmakers impressed with their work asked them to rewrite Sky High, which is kind of exciting. They used an excessive amount of Dutch angles on purpose. They loved the idea of that. And then Mike Mitchell, I assume is what they're meaning, was so excited because Linda Carter and Kurt Russell were in the movie. It had a $35 million budget, but it made $86.4 million in the box office, which is not that great. Like, it's made twice what it took to make, but still, not very much. It has a 73% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't really have any notes for this section, which surprised me because I feel like cinematography is like the one one of the ones that I always have something to say, and I don't. It felt very decent and fine and appropriate for the movie that they made. The music in this was awesome. I feel like lately the soundtracks have been so great. Herbie's soundtrack was ridiculous. Kim Possible had some like Jesse McCartney needle drops that were so good, and then this had some covers that were great, including I'll Stop the World and Melt With You, and earlier on they had a cover of Everybody Wants to Rule the World, which, like, oh my god, so good. So I feel like the soundtracks lately have been top notch. Bashing his dad for wearing tights right at the beginning, not great. I forgot about the whole hero sidekick. I have seen this movie. I've seen it multiple times. Do I own this? I don't think I own this, which is a crime. I should own this. But I did not remember the whole hero sidetrack thing until it started, like, it was happening in the movie. And I was like, oh, yeah, I remember this. Messed up. I was like, yo, it's messed up to do a whole hero sidekick, like, division thing. That's disgusting. And in addition to that, I obviously forgot that it was a whole B storyline. They also were, like, being hero sidekick split is also dumb. Everyone can be a hero. Like, it takes a team. His dad is really just cocky and rude, like 90% of this movie, but in the best way. Like, he's like not great because of like the pressure he's putting on his son, but you can tell he loves him and is supportive, especially like in the scene where he's devastated that Will doesn't have any powers and might not get any powers, and the mom is like, come on now, like, it's gonna be fine. He's a great kid and we can still be this great family. And like the speed at which he does, he should have already been there, but the speed at which he does come around and then goes, he can always go into real estate, took me out. It was so funny. I was like, Kurt Russell, amazing. Speaking of, Will told his dad much earlier in the story than I anticipated. I really thought it was going to take him a much longer time to tell his dad that he was a sidekick and didn't have his powers yet. But I was pleasantly surprised because I haven't seen this movie in so long, so I forgot like the pace and beats and where things happen. So in that scene where he was telling his dad, I was like, oh my god, he's already telling his dad. I love that. I love that he's being honest with his dad so soon. I thought that was going to be a much bigger problem later, but it wasn't, which made me happy. But then they did that because then he has to get his powers and he put on the hero check and all that kind of stuff. So it just like went on a path that I was like, oh yeah. Speaking of that scene where he tells his dad and his dad kind of freaks out or whatever, is such a great bonding moment for him and his sidekick buddies. And I love that scene because they don't say anything, and Layla is very like unspoken to everyone. You know, he sits down and he's like, okay, what's the next question? And they're all kind of looking, and Layla looks at them like, go ahead and read the next question. And they start reading the next question, and she gives Will a look like, I'm proud of you, good job. And he like is calmed by that support, and it's so beautiful, and I love it so much. He can always go into real estate killed me. Remember when we used to use Real Citizens? Took me out. I was dead. And then, you're not the boy with the 6 arms, are you? That was a really dirty joke and really funny. And then, obviously, Linda Carter saying, I'm not Wonder Woman, you know, and walking out the door when she is, in fact, Wonder Woman. So good. And then, finally, my other big, like, weird random story thing that I was like, what is happening? I feel like we learned Gwen's / Royal Pain's, like, whole plan with them being babies a little too late. Like, she started turning everyone into babies, and I was like, why is she turning them all into babies? Like, what's going on? I don't understand. And it isn't until, like, a little bit later that she's turning them into babies that you find out that it's because she wants to raise them as villains in a villain school. And I was like, girl, that's a lot of work. Like, what? Come up with a brainwashing technology, which I'm not a big brainwash person. I hate that kind of storyline, but, like, if you're gonna, like, reverting their age, come on now. Dude, I love Kurt Russell. I just, like, anything he touches in a Disney moment, I just love. This role specifically gave me very big Ego in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 vibes. Just, like, it's like he took this character, made it a little evil, and jacked up the, like, a-hole factor by 1,000,000%, and you got Ego. But he gives me very similar vibes. Like, just the way he carried himself, the way he spoke, his cadence, all that kind of stuff gave me really similar vibes. Where, like, going from Miracle to this, no way. Like, he's so different in Miracle, so it just shows, like, his versatility. Also, like, Fox and the Hound, nothing like this. Like, you know, like, he's just been... Also, the baby picture, the high school picture they used of Kurt Russell in the yearbook, I was like, probably a Disney picture, because he's been a Disney actor for so long. I love it. And then, getting Linda Carter, Cloris Leachman, the kids in the hall to be in this movie, insane. The amount of cameos in this movie, like the mad scientist guy and the sidekick teacher, are both from Kids in the Hall, which a lot of people probably don't even know what that is, which is insane because Kids in the Hall was so funny. And then Linda Carter being the principal because she's Wonder Woman. Amazing. We love Linda Carter. She's a gem. I was super excited to see this again because it's been a very long time since I've seen it, which is a crime. This movie's very good. I should watch it more often for sure. But I think one of the reasons I might not have revisited it as often is because in my mind, I think he lied about his powers for not having powers for a lot longer than I thought he did, and it gave me like secondhand embarrassment and made me nervous that he was like lying about not having powers. But it's actually not that long at all, so now I'll be able to comfortably rewatch this movie without panicking. And then Gwen, I think I remembered that she was bad, but like this time watching as an adult, the second she started speaking to Will, I was like, ew. I was like, she's a predator. She is a senior. He is a freshman. This is disgusting. Like, I just immediately, like, I don't want to say gave me the ick again, because I think I said that about Trip and Herbie Fully Loaded, but, like, she gave me the ick. I was very creeped out by her from the get-go of her being, like, even with his point of view being like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful, and the, playing, no. I was like, ugh, she creeps me out. I don't like her. Mariah does the uncle all the time, and I forgot that it was from this movie. I'm just so used to her quoting it. The super strength reveal for Will is so great. Him, like, it comes out when he wants to protect his friends. And then obviously the flying reveal at the very end is so good, also incredible. Surprised? So am I. I love how much he doesn't want to leave his friends when they put him on the hero track, and he wants to stay with his sidekick friends. Like, that warms my heart so much. What I also really love about this movie is it would have been so easy to go the route that they always go, which is where he kind of starts to get a big head when he's on the hero side and, like, kind of start to mistreat his friends, which, like, he stayed with Gwen for that lunchtime, but he wasn't, like, a jerk to them. He still, like, tried to say hi to them. He still tried to, like, you know, he wanted to invite them to his party. He wanted to do these things. He still was so happy to see them. And I really loved that they kept that and they didn't have him go a whole, like, I was a jerk route, because his I was a jerk route was, like, semi-unintentional. Like, yes, he forgot to go to dinner with Layla, which was a turd blossom move for sure. But then the party, he was like very much peer pressured into not inviting his friends, and Gwen is the one that spoke to Layla and said all those nasty things. So, like, yes, he did wrong, but, like, not like how they do in other movies, so I loved that. Speaking of, we do not deserve Layla. Layla is an actual angel. I remembered really loving her character, but now rewatching this movie, she is an actual angel. She's such a sweet woman. Like, girl, woman, teenager, I don't know. And I love her, and I think Danielle Panabaker does an incredible job. She's so sweet, and I can't deal with it. Gwen played him like a fiddle. I was like, boy, get it together. And then the thing I think that took me out the most, that made me like really start shipping, even though like I knew they ended up together, but like really start shipping Will and Layla, was when he wanted to invite her to this party. Gwen said absolutely not, like they'll feel uncomfortable, they won't like it here because they're sidekicks. And then leaving and asking him to get her a soda so she can go be mean to Layla because she saw Layla arrived. And then when he walks up and sees Layla, how bright and excited he got when he was like, Layla! Like, he was so excited she was there. And then the second she's like, is mean, like, not mean to him, but is like, leave me alone, I don't want to talk to you, he realized, like, the fact that he doesn't go like, oh, I wonder what's up with her, what the hell, like, heck is wrong, like, what's going on, he knows. And he goes to Gwen and is like, what did you do? And she's like, these are your friends. And he's like, no, get the out of my house. Layla is my oldest friend, she's my best friend in the entire world. Like, that, I was like, we'd love to see him this movie. I was like, we love to see that. It's such a beautiful moment. And, like, you don't get that a lot. You don't, like, you get the, like, boy that gets too cocky and then realizes, or whatever else. You don't get, like, this girl he's into being kind of to his friend and him being like, get out of my house, we're done, I'm not taking you to homecoming. Like, it's just so good, and I love it so much. This, in general, was just a fun time. It was very funny. It was entertaining. I feel like there was one moment in the middle, like for 1 minute, that it was a little slow, but otherwise this was just good. It was so fun, and I definitely will find myself probably watching this more in the future because I totally forgot just how funny and entertaining this movie is. Is it the best movie ever? No, but it is good, and I definitely think it deserved more box office success. I mean, it's got a 73% Rotten Tomatoes, which is pretty decent, but for it to like just barely make double what it took to make, I'm disappointed. In 2005, preteens and teens that didn't go see this movie. All right, that's everything I have. My final rating for Sky High is 7 superheroes out of 10. Our total movie count is... Parent test total and cry count are still the same. If you want to keep up with the movie I'm watching, go and follow me on Instagram and Twitter. You'll find out what movie I'm watching when I put up videos every Monday and Friday, and sometimes Wednesday. Join Patreon. I have a tier starting at just $1 where you get every video a week early and a coupon code for merch. But a tier above that, you get daily trivia, community chat access, Patreon request access, all that fun stuff. And then above that, you get bonus content and all that fun stuff. So please, please, please go join Patreon. Thank you. Until next time. Well, buy merch. This isn't merch. This is my Superman shirt for the Super movie. I'm a Superman stan. We know that. Smallville. Until next time, come on, subscribe, but I'm in charge of your life. You are a studio, and don't be royal pain about it. Dude, raising hundreds of supervillains at the same time? Sure do need a lot of minions to help raise the babies. Like, dang. It's a bad choice, in my opinion.